Welcome back, everyone. It's once again time for Actual English. I am Jennifer Clyde. It's time for lesson 64, and let's talk about the increasing number of pet owners these days. So let's focus on people, pet owners these days, and perhaps talk about the reasons as to why so many more people these days are choosing to raise a pet. So, if you by any chance have a pet, why did you choose to own a pet or raise a pet? I would say, for example, for me, I had my first dog when I was in elementary school. When I was little, I begged my mother for a puppy, and she gave it a lot of thought. And she said, if you promise to be responsible, if you promise to take it out for walks and take care of it, I will get you a dog. So I tried very hard to keep my promise, but I wasn't very good at it. Anyhow, that was my first dog. Back then, there were not many pet owners. Not many people had dogs or even cats. And it was very hard to find animal hospitals. I remember that. Well, that was like 20 years ago. But nowadays, you see pet shops, vets, animal hospitals, here and there, even pet hotels, very commonly almost on every street corner. So it is true that many more people these days have a pet or several pets at home. Let's talk about, once again, the increasing number of pet owners today. Let's get started.
Do you have a pet?
I don't have a pet, but I feel like I'm the minority these days.
Sure.
Because so many people are getting pets nowadays.
Lots of my single friends especially, they love to have pets. I think it helps them like stave off those lonely nights, right?
Right, for companionship.
Yeah.
Because I think pets do a good job in keeping people company.
Absolutely, especially if you go home and it's late at night, you've been working overtime.
Right.
You don't want to go back to an empty house.
Exactly.
It feels so lonely. So if there's a little puppy or a kitten there to greet you,
right.
I think it brings a smile to your face.
Yeah, definitely. I actually know someone who bought a pet because it was so cute. She thought it was so cute, so she bought it and took it home, and she said that about a year later, it just felt like family.
Sure, and it's not so cute anymore, but it is like a member of the family.
Right, exactly.
I think that's the problem. Sometimes it can be a really impulsive decision, especially here in Korea. They're pet shops. They have the puppies in the window, right? Or the kittens in the window.
Yeah, the supermarket.
Yeah, and you just walk past and you're like, I want one.
Right.
But then I guess it's a good thing when it turns into a family member.
Right,
It becomes
exactly.
more long-term. But I think the trend of having more pets is linked to like more disposable income, more free time to spend with them.
Yeah,
stuff
definitely.
Like
Because it's not cheap earning a pet.
Exactly. The running costs, like the feed and stuff that you have to buy like that, it can be crazy. And I heard like vet fees can run up to the same amount as hospital fees.
Wow.
Yeah, so you've got to keep your animal healthy.
That's true.
Fruit and vegetables.
Health is the most important thing in life.
Yeah, but I guess having a pet, these days in modern society, it's maybe a step down from having a baby. And in Korea, the birth rate is lower, so maybe they're kind of filling that emptiness with a pet.
Maybe. I agree. And I think what you talk about when you say disposable income, I guess maybe it's a status thing as well.
Sure.
Maybe in other countries it kind of shows we can have an animal as a pet. We don't really need it as food, for example. Because back in the day, I think you had a pet, but later ended up on your kitchen table.
Sure.
But nowadays, it's...
Not these days, right?
No, not these days. So
I hope not, anyway.
Yes. You never know where your meal came from. But yeah, I think it can also show status as well.
A status symbol, having a dog on your arm.
Well, obviously, from the conversations that we've heard between Peter and Rachel, we know that they don't have any pets. Rachel is more of a dog person, but Peter mentioned that he's not really into cats or dogs. He's more of a people person. But what did they mention today? It's true that since there are so many people that are not married, that remain single until a later age, that they need a companion. They need someone like family at home to greet them when they return home from work. So that could be one reason why people choose to have pets at home. There are many more reasons, but let's check out what they talked about. Here we go. Okay, let's start with what Peter said. A very simple question: do you have a pet? You can also ask, do you own a pet? Do you have a pet? Do you own a pet or do you raise a pet? Okay, they're very simple questions. Now, Rachel said, I don't have a pet, so she doesn't have a pet, but I feel like I'm the minority. Some people say minority, I say minority, minority. So, minority actually has more than one definition. A minority could be a young person, an adolescent, okay? Perhaps a teenager who's not an adult could be a minority. But if you say the minority, you're talking about a smaller number of a group or a part of something, okay? The lesser half, or lesser than half, that is. So she's saying, I feel like I'm the minority, meaning there are many more people that are not like me, okay? Because so many people are getting pets nowadays. Now, so many people are what? They're getting pets. They're raising pets these days, okay? So that's why she feels like she is the minority, okay? The lesser group. Now, lots of my single friends, Peter says, single friends, especially, they love to have pets. So he's talking about people that are not married, singles, okay? They tend to have more pets. I think it was Park Kalin a long time ago. She mentioned something about being single, okay? And she pointed a very important or a very interesting point about single. So when you say, I am single, you may think that you are not married, you're not in a relationship, but single can also mean that you are separated. You could have been married, and even if you're divorced, if you are not married right now, you could say that you are single, okay? But anyhow, single friends meaning friends of his that are not married, they tend to have more pets. So I think it helps them meaning the single friends, right? Stave off those lonely nights. Lonely nights we're talking about. Yeah, lonely, feeling alone, no one to cuddle with, no one to talk to. Who enjoys or who likes to be alone at night? Well, he's saying, now, I think it helps. It meaning having a pet or raising a pet helps his friends, or helps these people, stave off those lonely nights. Stave off actually means to keep something away, or to keep from something, or even to prevent in time. But simply put, he's saying these animals or these pets, if you have pets, they will keep you company, okay? So you don't have to come to an empty house. They will stave off those lonely nights. They will keep away those lonely nights. Now, Rachel says, right, because I think pets do a good job in something. It means that they are very good at, okay? They do a good job in keeping people company. Now, keep a person or keep people company means to be there for them, to talk to them or to spend time with them so that he or she is not lonely, okay? We'll practice some sample sentences with this one later on in today's patterns. Now, Peter says absolutely, he agrees, and he says especially if you go home and it's late at night, okay, late at night, and you don't want to go back to an empty house. So he's saying it's nice to have a pet, especially if you live alone, if you are single, and you go home and it's late at night and you don't want to go back to an empty house. It is nice to have a pet at home waiting for you, ready to greet you, jump up to you and say, welcome back home, right? All right, so Rachel obviously agrees. She says exactly. Now, it feels so lonely. What feels so lonely? This is if you have to walk into an empty house. So if there is a little puppy or kitten there to greet you, meaning to welcome you, it brings a smile to your face. We took a look at this a while back. Something brings a smile to your face. It's just a fancy way of saying it makes you smile. In other words, it makes you happy. It brings a smile to your face. It makes you smile. Rachel says, yeah, definitely. You know, I actually know someone. So she's talking about perhaps a friend or someone that she knows who bought a pet. Why? Because it was so cute. And she said that about a year later, after some time, it, meaning the pet, just felt like something, felt like family. Okay. Now, something such as a dog or a cat or a pet could feel like family. Somebody could feel like family. Perhaps your best friend could feel like family. It means that although he or she is not related to you, although he or she is not real family, you're so close, you like each other so much, it's just like your family. That is what she's saying. So after about a year later, they've kind of bonded and become so close, the dog or the cat felt like family. It was a part of the family. It was like a family member. Peter says it is like a member of the family. It is like family. It is like a member of the family. I think that's the problem, though, he says. What's the problem? Now he begins. Sometimes it can be a really impulsive decision. Impulsive is what? If you do something impulsively, or impulsive itself means sudden, especially if you don't give something much thought and you decide to do it. Say, for example, you walk into a clothing store and you see lots of clothes. You were just thinking about looking around, okay, just browsing around, but instantly you saw something and you say, oh, I want to buy that. So you buy it, okay? You're doing that impulsively. So he's saying sometimes it can be a really impulsive decision, a decision made very quickly, especially here in Korea. I do agree. And why is that? He says there are pet shops that have the puppies in the windows or the kittens in the windows. It's true. There are so many of these pet shops. You walk by them and you see these puppies, tiny little puppies and kittens in the windows, okay? And then Rachel even adds, yeah, like at the supermarket, you will see, and on the streets, you will see these pet shops. Now, Peter says, yeah, I guess it's a good thing when it turns into a family member. When the pet becomes a family member. Turn into means to change, okay? So here he's saying it's a good thing if the pet turns into, changes, even better, becomes a family member. But, okay, I think the trend of having more pets is linked to, okay? It's linked to, it's connected, more disposable income and more free time to spend with them. So, okay, the trend of having pets is linked to, it's connected to what? Disposable income. We all know what an income is, right? Okay, we often ask, so what is your income? It's often your salary, how much you earn, the money that you earn. But disposable income is what? Disposable is something you can throw away. So if you say disposable income, that is the money left after you pay your taxes, after you pay for things. And then if you have extra money left to spend or to live on, that is disposable income. Extra money, simply put. So since more people these days have extra money to spend, they spend it on buying pets, okay? And people have more free time these days to spend with the pets. So these are just a few of the reasons. Now, Rachel says definitely because it's not cheap running a pet. Let's take a look at run. Run, of course. 뛰다, that's true. But also you can run a company You could run something. Now, when you say you run something, you're talking about perhaps the things you do or the money that is spent on a regular basis or money spent regularly on doing something, especially operating an organization or a business. So basically, she's saying it's not cheap running a pet, meaning it's not cheap taking care of a pet and raising it. There's lots of money you have to spend. Now, the running cost of the feed and stuff like that, or stuff you have to buy, it can be crazy. Crazy meaning it can be huge, unbelievably expensive, in other words. And I heard vet fees. We took a look at veterinary. Now, vet fees can run up to, it means plus, add up to, okay, ADD. It could add up to or sum up to the same amount as hospital fees. Hospital fees for people, I would say. So he is just comparing the hospital fees for animals and for people. It's almost the same. They can run up to a certain amount. It can be very expensive. So you've got to keep your animal healthy. Keep it healthy, okay? I guess in Korea, he says, the birth rate, okay, is lower. Okay, birth rate is low. 출산율, it's low or lower. So maybe they're kind of filling emptiness with a pet. Filling that spot or emptiness with a pet, okay? You could fill someone's spot, means to take someone's spot. To fill something means to fill it up with something. So perhaps he's talking about pets. Filling up that emptiness, meaning pets taking place of emptiness so you don't feel the emptiness. So it's true. I guess not many people these days, especially in Korea, the birth rate is very low. So there are many families, married couples without children. So instead of having children, they perhaps raise pets, that is right. Okay, let's take a listen to the actual talk conversation one more time.
Do you have a pet?
I don't have a pet, but I feel like I'm the minority these days.
Sure.
Because so many people are getting pets nowadays.
Lots of my single friends especially, they love to have pets. I think it helps them like stave off those lonely nights, right?
Right, for companionship.
Yeah.
Because I think pets do a good job in keeping people company.
Absolutely, especially if you go home and it's late at night, you know, you've been working overtime.
Right.
You don't want to go back to an empty house.
Exactly.
You know, it feels so lonely. So if there's a little puppy or a kitten there to greet you,
Right.
I think it brings a smile to your face.
Yeah, definitely. You know, I actually know someone who bought a pet because it was so cute. She thought it was so cute, so she bought it and took it home, and she said that about a year later, it just felt like family.
Sure, and it's not so cute anymore, but it is like a member of the family.
Right,
I think that's the
exactly.
problem. Sometimes it can be a really impulsive decision, especially here in Korea. They're pet shops. They have the puppies in the window, right? Or the kittens in the window.
At the supermarket.
Yeah, and you just walk
on
past
the
and you're like,
streets.
I want one.
Right.
But then I guess it's a good thing when it turns into a family member.
Right,
It becomes more
exactly.
long term. But I think the trend of having more pets is linked to like more disposable income, more free time to spend with them. And
Yeah,
stuff like that,
definitely.
right?
Because it's not cheap earning a pet.
Exactly. The running costs, like the feed and stuff that you have to buy like that, it can be crazy. And I heard like vet fees can run up to the same amount as hospital fees.
Wow.
Yeah, so you've got to keep your animal healthy.
That's true.
Fruit and vegetables.
Health is the most important thing in life.
Yeah, but I guess having a pet, you know, these days in modern society, it's maybe a step down from having a baby. And in Korea, the birth rate is lower, so maybe they're kind of filling that emptiness with a pet.
Maybe. I agree. And I think what you talk about when you say disposable income, I guess maybe it's a status thing as well.
Sure.
Maybe in other countries it kind of shows we can have an animal as a pet. We don't really need it as food, for example. Because back in the day, I think you had a pet, but later ended up on your kitchen table.
Sure.
But nowadays it's
not these days, right?
No, not these days. So
I hope not anyway.
Yes. You never know where your meal came from. But yeah, I think it can also show status as well.
A status symbol, having a dog on your arm.
Are you ready for some vocab, everyone, and some patterns? Let's take a look at minority. 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 Some people say minority. I say minority, okay? So minority. Now, Rachel said that she was the minority, okay? The minority, we're talking about less than half, okay? There is a larger group, but you are a part of the smaller group or a smaller part of something. You would say you are the minority of something, okay? What about to stave off? Stave off those lonely nights. That was what was mentioned in today's actual talk. To stave off means to repel, okay? Repel. Keep away. Keep off. Okay? And also disposable income, I explained that to you. Disposable means to throw away. Think of the items you can throw away. Why do you throw them away? Because they're extra. Okay? So think of extra money that you have left to live on after you pay your taxes. Disposable income. There's also discretionary income, which is slightly different. Discretionary income. Discretion means your own choice, right? So discretionary income means the money that you can spend for things such as rent and things like that, all right? So keep that in mind. Also, running cost. Run something means to operate something, to keep something going, but the running cost of something is the money spent regularly on something. And we've got vet, just in case. Vet is very short, and it's short for veterinary. Veterinarian, even. Here we have the word veterinarian. He's an animal, or he or she is an animal doctor. Now, veterinarian is one way, or you can say veterinarian. Veterinarian or veterinarian. It means animal doctor, animal hospital, and keep in mind it's short for veterinarian. Okay, let's take a look at some patterns then. Now, keep someone company. Pets can keep you company, right? So here we have a sentence. I kept him company while he was waiting for the train. So he was waiting for the train alone. And I thought, he could be lonely, so I'll keep him company. I kept someone, kept him company, meaning you sat with him or you stood with him, you talked with him, okay, so that he wouldn't be lonely. Here's another sentence. I never get lonely. My dog always keeps me company, okay? So you could keep somebody company, okay, so that he or she is not feeling lonely, okay? Or an animal or a pet can keep you company as well. Be there for you, be there with you, to spend time with you. Be linked to. Link. It means to be connected to, have a relation, right? Have a relationship. It is said that eating meat is linked to obesity. It means these two are connected. There is a relation between the two, okay? It is said that eating meat is linked to obesity. Another one, I read that a child's lung cancer is linked to pollution. This is what I really read. I don't know if it's true or not, but I did read that there is a connection between the two. I read that a child's lung cancer is linked to pollution, meaning pollution has to do something with a child's lung cancer. Okay, so let's check out one more. Fees or rates and etc. can run up to, okay? Now, run up to is an expression you would use especially when you want to talk about a sum of money or an amount of something that is quite high. Not low, but high, okay? For example, late fees at the library ran up to, past, 200,000 won. So you're saying it ran up to, meaning, yes, it was very expensive. One more time, late fees at the library ran up to 200,000 won. Let's check out one more. Lawyer fees, yeah, they can be really expensive. So you can say lawyer fees can run up to thousands of dollars. Can be as expensive as would be a simpler way. would be easier for you to understand. Run up to, meaning can be as expensive as, can be as much as, okay? Lawyer fees can run up to thousands of dollars. Okay, that is a wrap for today's actual expressions.
I think nowadays, we can see more and more people having pets. I've been probably in Korea, in France, the same also. And I think there is maybe two reasons for that I would think of. The first one is as people get extremely busy, we say, society is going so fast. I think people maybe feel a bit lonely, especially when they grow older. Your friends are working, they're working late, or your boyfriend, girlfriend, so you cannot really see them all the time. So I think people really enjoy when they're coming back home after a long day at work. They really enjoy having their pets waiting for them. So I think that's to have someone in their life. And at the same time, I also think why people have more pets nowadays is maybe economical reason. People have more money now, and it's having a pet just for the fun of it. It's a luxury. In the past, people had pets for guarding the house or something, but nowadays it's a luxury, and it's actually really expensive. You have to vaccine, so people have more money, so they can afford to have pets for fun.
So today we asked Jonas if he thinks that there are more people that have pets these days. Now, what did he say? Well, this is how he started. He said, we see more and more people having pets. More and more. It's used twice, okay, to stress the fact that there are many, many. There are, or we see more and more people having pets. What else? I think there are maybe two reasons for that. Two reasons for people raising more and more pets. And then he stated, people have more money these days. So they have more money to spend. We talked about disposable income today. And he says it's a luxury. That's right. People these days have more money, so they can afford to have pets. Since they have more time to spend with these pets, and especially since a lot of people these days have some extra money, they have more money to spend, they opt to get a pet. So these are two of the reasons Jonas stated in today's actual story. Okay, take a listen to it one more time.
I think nowadays, we can see more and more people having pets. I've been probably in Korea, in France, the same also. And I think there is maybe two reasons for that I would think of. The first one is as people get extremely busy, we say, society is going so fast. I think people maybe feel a bit lonely, especially when they grow older. Your friends are working, they're working late, or your boyfriend, girlfriend, so you cannot really see them all the time. So I think people really enjoy when they're coming back home after a long day at work. They really enjoy having their pets waiting for them. So I think that's to have someone in their life. And at the same time, I also think why people have more pets nowadays is maybe economical reason. People have more money now, and it's having a pet just for the fun of it. It's a luxury. In the past, people had pets for guarding the house or something, but nowadays it's a luxury, and it's actually really expensive. You have to vaccine, so people have more money, so they can afford to have pets for fun.
Well, did you have fun today, everyone? We are focusing mainly on pets this whole entire week. And today we talked about the increasing number of, not pets, but pet owners. People that are choosing to have pets as family members. It's true, once you bring them home, they're like family members. Not easy to get rid of them very easily. And I think that we all should not do anything close to that. Anyway, that was our topic. I hope you learned a lot and had fun. Please do practice the patterns and the vocab words and the phrases we learned today with a partner or even by yourself. Look in the mirror and practice on your own. That's always a great exercise. Next time I'll join you back and we'll talk about animal hospitals and animal hotels. What you can do there and why people take their pets to animal hotels even. Okay, come to our homepage, everyone. You know where to come? Find your way over to www.ebse.co.kr and just search for Actual English with me, Jennifer Clyde. That is a wrap for today, everyone. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you again very soon. See you next time.